All right, yeah, we back. Another episode, No Pump Fakes. Before we get started, man, I just want to say shout out to Slam's graphic designer, Pat, man. He's on to starting a new journey. So just, had to shout him out, man. I know he's a big supporter of the show and wish him nothing but the best of luck, for his next journey, man. Definitely appreciate the work he's put in here with Slam. So much love to Pat, man. But now, all right, I need to, there's a lot of things to talk about
Shout
on
out
today's
to
episode of mine. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to talk about in this episode, okay? First things first, number one thing that we have to acknowledge, Kevin Durant, 51 points and 9 assists. Very tough. very. let me just say that first. Very, very tough to do. But what are your thoughts on Kevin Durant, 51-point performance?
Special. Top 5 score of all time. Unguardable. Maybe the greatest mid-range shooter ever. I mean, he's special. I mean, it's just like, what can you do? It's like, we talk about Kevin Durant so much. It's like he's been doing this for so damn long. It's just like, it's crazy. Like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Steph Curry, like they've been this dominant for so long. It's just like, we almost got like used to it. I was like watching the game, like, yeah, he was making it look too easy. Like, it was like simple. Simple. Like, it was easy, smooth.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel towards that game? Like, was it?
For that game, I'm not gonna sit up and say like, I was like, so impressed, because this is like, I seen Kevin Durant not drop 50 and drop games like 30 and 40 points in the playoffs, where I'm be like, it's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like last year with the Bucks and stuff like that. But it was still special. It was still special watching him do what he does best. Professional scorer, professional bucket getter.
Okay. I just wanted to hear your thoughts on Kevin Durant scoring 51 points. And it's funny because I heard you, mention that, but I didn't hear you mention the team that he played. And so
played the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, the Detroit Pistons. But it's like, it just amazes me how we acknowledge that 50-point performance and we'll say like, well, yeah, that's Kevin Durant. That's what he does. This is, but at no point did you acknowledge that it was against a team that may not be the greatest in the league. And my point in saying, no, you're right. It shouldn't matter. But you see how you didn't just say, well, yeah, I expected that, or like, duh, it's Kevin Durant. My point in saying all that is, if Giannis, and y'all know I like to bring this back up, but when Giannis does this to the Western Conference champs, it's treated as he was supposed to do it. But when how many wins do the Detroit Pistons have? There's no shade to them, right? I mean, this is a team whose best player isn't even, legal enough to drink, for crying out loud. But the fact is, you, as well as myself, are giving Durant his flowers, regardless of who the competition was. And so I just want to hear your thoughts on that, seeing how when Giannis does an amazing feat, all of a sudden there's a reason. There's he was supposed to do that. So I just want to hear what your opinion is.
You're not gonna.
No, I am. No, I am. I'm not twisting your words.
You're not gonna twist my words.
I'm not twisting your words. I know you waited.
When I say he was supposed to win a championship, he was supposed to go out and beat the Phoenix Suns. I said when you looked at the last 4 teams in the playoffs, I was like, clearly Giannis was the best player available in the playoffs. I was just like, if he's the best player, like, this is the perfect opportunity. Like, Giannis should get it done. I would have said the same thing if it was LeBron James, if it was Steph Curry, if it was, I don't know, even James Harden. If James Harden was playing on a different team. Like, if you look at those 4 teams, it was the Hawks, it was the Clippers without Kawhi, and also it was, who was the Clippers playing? The Suns. So it was just kind of like, I was like, Giannis is clearly the best player out of Paul George, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Trae Young. I'm like, Giannis should win this championship. And he did what he's supposed to do. Like, don't make it seem like I was saying something like, like I'm taking a shot or anything. That's not the case. I said he was supposed to 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm like, this is a perfect opportunity. Go get it done. And he went and got it done. And I gave him his flowers. So you talking about a regular season, and we're talking about like Kevin Durant. It's like a regular season, he dropped 51 points. It was good, special. I didn't come over here and be like, damn, like Kevin Durant, this and that. It's like, he was I'm not gonna say he was supposed to, but it's just like they played the Detroit Pistons, had an amazing game, it's phenomenal. He's special. Kevin Durant is the best player in the world, in my opinion. But it's just kind of like I've seen Kevin Durant. Even in the beginning of the podcast, I said I was impressed, yeah, but it was just like, oh my God, like Kevin Durant, because I've seen him have bigger games and bigger moments when he doesn't have to drop 50, like in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like in the NBA Finals against hitting the shot over LeBron James. Like I've seen that before. So let's not try to do that. I don't like that.
No. I was just waiting for you to for your reaction on KD's performance.
Yeah.
Because I was literally waiting for you to say something along the lines of like he's here or this is a reminder as
I
to
didn't
why
do
he was.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
You don't understand how much I wanted you to say something like that.
Not falling in the trap. You're not about to catch me slipping. I'm consistent.
Hey, 51-9 and 7 in a game. I feel like again, regardless of who you play, it's crazy.
Yeah. Most points this regular season.
Yeah, but over Steph. And now that conversation of best player in the world is just keeps rotating, I feel like. I know obviously you feel, that it's confirmed that it's KD, but even with LeBron's performance, it's like, yo.
It's crazy because I tweeted something today. AKIS NBA, go follow me on Twitter.
He's back. He's back.
Been suspended for 6 months. I tweeted something and people got like up in arms when I said like, yo, the top 3 players, I've been saying this for a while. Even though Giannis just won a championship, I've been saying this for a while. The top 3 players in the world have damn near been the same 3 players. If you really want to break things down, basically since like 2014, it's almost 2022 right now. I still believe when healthy, LeBron James is the top 3 basketball player in the world. Steph Curry, top 3 basketball player in the world. Kevin Durant, top 3 basketball player in the world. I know people feel that, people were coming in my comments, people were coming in, mentioning me saying like, that's disrespectful to Giannis. That's insulting Giannis. I don't feel like that's insulting Giannis because like I said, if you break things down, what Giannis did was special last year. But at the same time, I've seen Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and I've seen LeBron James consistently be in the finals, consistently have big moments, consistently win championships, stuff like that. Now, if Giannis comes this year, wins back-to-back, then we're going to have a conversation. But it's just kind of like, I can't just, after one NBA finals in a COVID playoffs.
You didn't have to add that. You didn't have to add that in the COVID playoffs. You didn't have to add that.
I can't sit up and say like, he's ahead of those guys. Just like I couldn't sit up and say like, Anthony Davis in a bubble playoffs, I couldn't sit up and say that he's better than those guys either. So I've been consistent.
Stop throwing Anthony Davis in there. Stop.
I've been consistent.
No one even said anything about Anthony Davis.
When you win a championship, people are talking about Anthony Davis could possibly be the best player in the world someday. That's not. You can people
see. That's nothing too. He could be the best player in the world someday. That's not the same thing.
You were sitting up and saying after Giannis won a championship, he was the best player in the world. Then you had to backtrack like 2 months after once you saw Steph, once you saw LeBron, once you saw Kevin Durant.
First of all, I still feel that way. I already told you.
You feel
in
what?
terms of the conversation, I have never not one time on this entire show have said that Giannis is better than any of those guys. I've never said that.
All I've said, best player in the world.
No. I said he deserves to be in the conversation. And my point in saying that is if someone were to tell me that LeBron is the best player in the world, I wouldn't be like, damn, you're wilding. If someone were to say anything about KD, about Giannis, about Steph, I would not feel like, you're saying something crazy. That's how I feel about probably 3.5 of those guys. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And so now to hear, you mentioned AD, love AD, but it's a different conversation. And even though you want to mention the whole thing about consistency and things like that since, 2014 or whatever, that's the whole point of being a part of the best player in the world conversation. It's about what you're doing now. It's about the act. Ain't nobody arguing about legacy. Obviously, those 3 guys got to down pat.
1 year compared to guys that's been
doing
this.
But again, that's not going
to
you act again, like I've said, you acting like this might have been Giannis' first time winning the finals, but it ain't Giannis' first time being on the map. This ain't the first, it's not like the gap has been that far for years and years and years. It's been, KD and Bron, of course, but it wasn't like, okay, fine, and Steph, but it wasn't like Giannis was like this 30th best player and he needed to, go. But I'm saying, if the gap isn't that far, and then you go out there and win the finals, what else does a brother need to do to be at least considered? Again, considered.
I just don't feel Theus. People love to talk. I think people love to talk about resumes. That's what people are bringing up in my mentions. Resumes. Giannis resume. 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Resumes are cool. That is fine. I believe in resumes, but I also believe in resumes don't always tell the full damn story. Shaq has one MVP. Kobe Bryant has one MVP. So Marc Gasol won a Defensive Player of the Year over LeBron James when LeBron James should have won. And I don't even think Marc Gasol made an all defensive team. I had to all NBA defensive team that year. I have to check.
Like the first one. I don't think he made like the first one or something.
Yeah, first. I don't think he made the first one. So it's just kind of like, that's what I'm saying. When people love to throw the resumes. The resume conversation, who can get very, very dicey because it's very, very subjective based on popularity, based on who, is the media getting fatigued of voting for the same guy over and over again. It's just this. The best player doesn't always win these awards.
Even if you want to take out of the awards part, that's fine with me. My argument isn't based off just awards.
That's fine, but I'm using that to say that's what people start doing when they start comparing Giannis to Steph, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. But I'm not even really talking about that. I'm talking about game-wise. I can break things down and tell you why it's a difference between Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry than it is to Giannis, because you can't defensive scheme for those guys in the playoffs. It's as simple as that. Giannis has won the finals. He's had success. He has a finals MVP. But it's been times in the playoffs, where you can literally make him a lesser version than what he is in the regular season and sometimes in the early rounds in the postseason. That is just a fact. Even this season, it's been some games when they played a great defensive team like the Miami Heat. It was looking very, very the same. So that's all I'm saying. I got 3 players that you can't defensive scheme when it really matters the most. It's just kind of like
you're picking a very bad time to be saying this about one of those players. You're picking a very bad time to be saying this about one of those. I'm not going to say the name.
I'm just saying, because I know you're not taking 2 regular season games where Steph Curry was chucking and just trying to break the all-time record.
I am just saying.
Come on, let's not get it twisted.
I'm not confused. I'm just saying you're not picking the right time. You're not picking the right time to be saying this.
It is the right time because I got years of evidence. To support my claim of Steph Curry doing work in the playoffs. I got years of evidence to support my claim of Kevin Durant and LeBron James doing work in the playoffs and not any defense that they throw at them. Steph Curry dropped 40-something in a box and one in the NBA Finals with the Toronto Raptors. It's levels. That's what I'm saying. It's really levels. When you can defensive scheme a player, it's they can still be great. They can still be dominant. But at the same time, it's just I got 3 players. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry. You can't really defensive scheme them in the playoffs when it matters the most. Any team.
So you want to use a 40. So you want to use a 40-point performance with the box one. Am I allowed to repeat the Giannis' 50-point performance? Am I allowed to do that, or is that just one game?
You can repeat that, but you look at you can definitely repeat that. But at the same time, like I said, the Phoenix Suns didn't have a really defensive philosophy to really stop Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like I said certain teams. Certain teams can stop Giannis. Giannis is unstoppable. But it's certain teams defensively that can make him give his life a living hell and make things a little harder and difficult for him. It's no team in the NBA that can really do that with, I feel, LeBron James and Kevin Durant especially, and almost 95, 97%, I feel the same way about Steph Curry. So that's what I'm saying. It's levels to this when we're talking about these players and putting Giannis in that category. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you definitely have the game plan differently, based off, which one of those guys that you're playing. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think that even if you're talking about game plan, strategy, matchups, whatever, you still have to factor in the fact that you are playing against a guy that, can go off pretty much whenever he wants and can be a dominant force like that on both sides of the floor. And so Giannis probably
both sides of the floor.
Both sides of the floor in terms of being a matchup nightmare. You're not about to sit here and say that you don't have to prepare for Giannis on both sides of the floor. And I know you like to use the whole idea of Giannis doesn't guard, but you still have to prepare for Giannis on the defensive side of the floor. That is a fact. Now, I'll let you roll with the whole Giannis might not guard thing. That's one thing. But don't sit there and tell me you're not about to sit here and at least, develop some sort of strategy of how you want to approach Giannis on the defensive end. That I can't accept that. You might not want to say that Giannis can't shut down a certain player. All right, cool. But in terms of not being aware, come on now.
Yeah,
come on now.
Of course. He's a help side defender, help side, weak side.
Right.
Protector, of course.
That's what I'm saying. So you have to make sure that
he's 7 feet. I mean, yeah, Rudy Gobert's 7 feet too. So I mean, of course, of course you're gonna. But
I'm saying not all 7 footers are great defenders. To be clear,
Chris Porzingis is a great rim protector as well.
Okay,
he's 7 feet.
Again,
I'm just saying, I can throw some. I can throw some great help side defender. You know, like Brook Lopez.
Absolutely.
Like all I'm saying is most big men. You know, if they can't damn near like rim protect and be a good help side defender, that's a bigger issue in itself. But a lot of big men in this league can really do what Giannis can really do. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like help side, weak side. I'm gonna keep it 100. Not taking anything away, but like a lot of Miles Turner. Go watch the tape. Go put the film up. Miles Turner is an excellent rim protector and help side, weak side defender. Not saying he's better than Giannis, but damn, it ain't like shit. It's so much like not a comparison. Like you can make a comparison. You can make a comparison with Kristaps Porzingis.
A comparison on what?
You can make a comparison of like, you can have a conversation like, yo, all right, like I'd rather have Giannis as a rim protector, help side defender, but like Miles Turner, if I get Miles, it's like, yo, it's not that much of a drop off. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. I mean, when you look at, numbers wise and obviously, Miles in terms of blocks per game and stuff, I hear you on that. I'm not here to,
Anthony Davis as well. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's just kind of like the best defenders are the guys I feel like can actually guard. But even then, like Draymond Green basically came out and said he's the best defender of all time. And the reason why he said that is because he says it's not many defenders that can do what I can bring on the basketball court. Being a defensive bully, being able to play help side, be the anchor of the defense, switch, rim protect sometimes, but also being able to guard as well for long possessions, whether you're guarding 1 through 5, where he's guarding guards, where he's just guarding wings, where he's guarding post guys. Like he feels that's he's an all-time great defender, like one of the best ever.
But to me, there's a difference between being versatile and being a great defender. Like you can be a great defender, but can't really guard like that on the perimeter. Like some of the greatest defenders of all.
The defensive player of the year just won one. Yeah.
Okay. I was talking more about guys like Dwight Howard and not necessarily taking away, from what he was doing. But I'm saying you didn't really see him guarding point guards that, but he was able to protect the rim.
He was a traditional center and he was so athletic, so dominant. Like, he was a athletic force defending the rim. Like it was insane. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, the award is defensive player of the year, not best perimeter defender of the year. So if your job is to defend and you are doing a great job of preventing the other team from scoring, regardless of what level it is, you gotta,
The game is to put the ball in the hoop and to stop the ball from getting the hoop. So if you got a rim protector like Giannis, Miles Turner, like Rudy Gobert, you got to give them credit because they're stopping the ball from getting in the hoop. At the end of the day, that's why I don't really love the whole like blocks don't matter and like steals don't matter. It does matter. Like people love like looking at defensive analytics and stuff like that, which has helped your boy Giannis win this Defensive Player of the Year award. But at the same time, it's just kind of like those blocks and steals do matter.
Yeah, and I mean when you look at off-ball defense, and when we talk about steals, Steph too. Okay, I mean like it's there. I think Monty Poole came on and talked about Steph is an underrated off-ball defender. Now obviously he may not guard on ball all the time, but off-ball is a form of defense too.
He's improved on his on-ball defense as well.
Absolutely.
Like, I think sometimes people run with the narrative like, a guy can't really do something defensively or he's bad defensively. But when a lot of times this stuff is really like 90% effort and then like 10% skill defensively if you really want to break things down to a T. Like James Harden, he's a terrible defender. Like James Harden has improved his defense, among the years since everybody kept saying how bad and trash he was. Like he's one of the best like post defenders in the NBA. Like Steph has improved his on-ball defense. He's still not gonna lock you down like a Draymond Green or like a Lou Dort. Like he's not gonna do that. But it's just like he can still hold his own at times.
Yeah, speaking of Steph though, I think I heard you guys mention before I got on the call.
I just want some Steph respect from you, Theus. I feel like you need to start giving this man the respect that
That's
he
not
really
what
deserves.
it is. That's not what it is. I respect Steph. The only thing that I want from everybody, with you, Twitter, everybody, is to make sure that the energy is consistent.
It is consistent.
Okay, right.
It's always consistent on my end.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying You know how it is. Some people like to move the goalposts. When LeBron James, during his peak, and even now, he does not get the luxury of having days off. He does not get the luxury of being able of shooting freaking 25, 30% from the field and just people just say, oh yeah, just off night. No, he gets criticized to no end. The same way with Kevin Durant and all these other players. My thing is, if we are going to mention Steph, and I love Steph, I agree that he is at the table, right? But the thing is, if we are going to say that, then we have to continue to hold him at a high standard for every single game. I don't want people saying like one day, okay, yeah, he's the best player in the world, but the next day if he has an off game, well, he's only like 6'2", he's still a point guard, he can't do everything. I don't want to hear that. You either put him in the conversation with Kevin Durant and LeBron James and Giannis and judge him game by game, or you say, you know what, he's not like those guys, but I'm tired of the whole 1 minute, he's this golden boy that can't do no wrong, and then the next minute, well, look at his team. You don't have Klay Thompson. I don't want to hear that. Be consistent with every...
Yeah, of course, but
like, come on now.
It's no consistency. There's no consistency. There's no consistency with Giannis, no consistency with Stephen Curry. There's always consistency with Kevin Durant and LeBron James.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Which was why they've been the top two players for damn near a decade. Like, it's no consistency whatsoever. We had this conversation all the time, and it's just kind of like it goes with guys being well liked by the media.
Yeah. And I got a question for you. I want you to run on this if you don't mind. I think there was a post someone did. I forgot who it was, but like, is Steph this generation's player? Like, or is this? Is like? Do you remember that question?
No, yeah, I remember that question. It's hell no. It's disrespectful.
What was the exact question though? What was the exact question? Do you remember?
The question was: Has Stephen Curry surpassed LeBron James basically as the best player of the generation? Like, are we going to start thinking about this era of basketball? We're going to be thinking about Stephen Curry being over LeBron James. The answer to that question is hell no. I actually made a tweet. I just felt that LeBron James is maybe one, if not the most disrespected legend of all time, maybe one of them. So it's just like, it's crazy. Like what LeBron James has done.
You know what, man?
Entire career.
You know what's funny? You know what? Let me take the opposite approach on that. Okay, it's because it's easy, right? When we talk about the 8th straight finals, year 19, all that stuff and whatnot. But when you think about the fact, right? That he's still doing it at this age. It's not crazy. Like, what I'm saying, Brian, 32, 33. It ain't like the same, 37. What I'm saying? Like,
2 weeks.
Bro, it's pushing 40. And this ain't like, no shade to any other sport, but this ain't no sport where you just sit back and chill and whatnot. This is a physical game where like, if you not up to par with, your shape and all that, you're going to get exposed. So to know that this man is still performing at a high level and still dominating in year 9.
Yeah. And
I love how long ago LeBron James was a rookie? I want you to think, where were you at in 2003?
We was kids.
Do you know how long ago this man got drafted? And not only is he still in the damn league, but he is dominating 2003.
Yeah, he got that same sauce Captain America got in the Marvel movies. Like,
come on, man.
Like he built from a lab.
Come on, man.
He's special. He's special. It's nothing. And then my thing. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I said my thing is just like when I'm watching him, it's kind of like he's still so like damn good. It's like because I'm watching like, yes, he's lost a step athletically. Like he can't finish and get to the rim where you clogged up paint like he used to back in the Cleveland days, Miami days, where like, it don't matter if that rim is who in that rim. He get into the paint if he wants to. Now he needs like more space and stuff like that to operate, but he can still get to the rim and attack, of course. But like his movement, like the way he looks, his body wise, like his endurance, I'm like, like he's in peak position, not peak position, he's in peak like form. Like he's may not be at this all-time peak, but it's just like, his movement on the basketball court, how loose he looks, like fluid he looks, especially around the rim. Even the dunking the basketball, like he's not as athletic as he used to be, but like he's still so damn athletic. And it's just kind of like, even defensively, like he's not this all-time great defender like we've seen in Miami days, but like he can stay in front of guards still. He can stay in front of, he's strong enough to stay in front of, defend offensive players in the post. Like he does a lot of things where right now I'm just like, damn, like it's surreal. When he is healthy, that's what I'm saying. He's top 3.
Now the thing is, sorry.
No, I just said when he's healthy, he's top 3. And in the playoffs, like he could have a chance to prove that, he's still number 1 this year. But go ahead.
Facts. Facts. I agree with all that. But I will say though, I feel like unfortunately with the specific era that we're in right now, maybe, just maybe, there's children out there that might view Steph in a similar way that we view LeBron. Similar, not the exact same. Because when we were like, a decade ago, whatever, and even now, it was almost as if like, well, who was LeBron going to play in the finals? That was the question. It wasn't whether or not LeBron was going to make the finals or not, because you kind of knew that. But it's like, all right, who's coming out the West? And now, even though the Warriors are obviously still a good basketball team, people know that the Warriors or whoever, someone else can still make it to the finals. And so I think with all the threes and all the breaking of the records, a lot of young people are looking at Steph now and thinking like, man, what he's doing. And in a way, he might be more relatable, right? Because LeBron still is just a different type of human being, right?
Physical
but people,
specimen.
right? And I don't want to use that word, but just the idea of like people could probably look at Steph and look at him eye to eye and be like, yo, like we're kind of somewhat built the same. But LeBron is like, yo, you're not me. I'm not the guy. You feel me? But Steph is just like,
yeah, people can feel that way, but let me say, Steph is an alien too. Like people like, you shoot threes. I could be like Stephen Curry. Like, yeah, okay, like it. Yeah, you gotta.
Well, just from a physical aspect, that's all. Yeah, but just from a physical,
you gotta shoot threes and stuff like work on your ball handling and stuff like that. But it's just kind of like, it's only one Stephen Curry. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only one Steph. But I think it's like people look at Steph as like, it's easier to see yourself as being a Stephen Curry as being a LeBron James. I think that's why the whole concept of like, he changed the way the game is played on all levels, because like most kids now want to handle the ball and they want to shoot threes and stuff like that. That is fine. He also changed the way the NBA, this new era in the NBA. I think what people got to understand, what makes LeBron James different from, any of these guys, even Kevin Durant to a degree, is that why I don't like the whole like, just generation and stuff like that. It's LeBron, because like LeBron has played. He's not even a legitimate argument we made that LeBron James is not even from this generation. He played in a non-spacer. Like he was part of that era that was coming out. Like it was tight. He was like real like zone defense and stuff. Like he was in that era as well. Like
Bron don't have an era. Bron don't have an era.
It's like he's transcending eras. Like LeBron James has been the NBA has changed 3 times since LeBron James has been in the league, bro. And he's still been dominant and still won in almost every era that he's been in, and been a dominant force and been considered like, if not the best player in all the eras, considered at least top 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy, like in the era with Kobe and T-Mac and Tim Duncan and Paul Pierce, like he was still considered, like he may not have been better than Kobe during that time, but like he was damn near close. You know what I'm saying? That's how special LeBron James has been. And I think people forget that, like, Steph has really flourished in this generation, in this era, but it's just kind of like LeBron James has been dominant. Not saying Steph Curry couldn't play in the early 2000s and nothing like that, but I'm saying it's just like I've seen LeBron be dominant in 3 different eras in his NBA career, which just shows you how damn special he is at the end of the day.
And to be able to make that adjustment too, because it's different playing styles in each era, right? Yeah. So you got guys that's shooting from 40 feet. Now you had guys back then, going to the low post often and frequently. So now, and to be able to dominate in any and every era. Norris talked about it too last episode, like being able to guard pretty much any position, and it's like we'll never see another player like LeBron James ever again. Like even with the way things are now, with guys having more opportunities and chances and exposure, and from a health standpoint, guys have more access to weight rooms and all these things. I still, even with that, don't think we'll ever again see another player like LeBron James, bro. Like ever again. Like maybe I can say that about some other guys, the KDs and Steph, but I know for a fact, bro, like it is not ever again. Especially when we talk about longevity. Like I still think KD and Steph, they still have years to go, and Bron does too. But I mean, like, we don't know if KD and Steph are going to, by year 19 still be playing at this high level of basketball. We know, we are seeing for a fact, right, that LeBron is doing this now. So that's just, man.
But, get ready. People keep like counting down
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
When's LeBron gonna retire? When's LeBron gonna retire? The way he's looking now, LeBron got another 5-6 years left, bro. Like that's how dominant he looks. And you know what I like about the Lakers? I know people talk about the Lakers and stuff like that and their team and they're up and down or whatever. I think they're gonna be fine at the end of the day. We had a podcast talking about that. But you know what I like about the Lakers is that LeBron James has entered his Kobe mode. Basically, when Kobe was in the latter portion of his career, Kobe was just focused on scoring that damn ball. I know LeBron had a triple-double the other day, but like now they got Russell Westbrook who can really rebound and pass and assist. And now they kind of just let LeBron just go out. LeBron, go take 25 shots a game. Go take 30 shots a game. Like we haven't really seen like LeBron just like, we're seeing this with this Los Angeles Lakers team where LeBron is just like, yo, he's shooting that pill. And I like it. Like he's just focused on scoring. Like, yo, we got a player in Russ that can handle the assists. We got a player in Russ that can handle the rebounds and stuff that and pushing the ball up the floor. We know, LeBron, we want you to go out and score. Anytime you get that ball, you feel like you open, shoot it. At the third level, at the second level, even at the post in the first level, just be you, just focus on scoring. I really like I really like that for LeBron at this age that he's in.
But I think too, last season is definitely helping. Because not to say that, LeBron and the Lakers needed a lesson, but just the idea of I think the team as a whole is realizing now they can't just wait until the end of the season to just kind of flip the switch, right? Like they're gonna have to win basketball games now. The Western Conference is still lethal, so even though their record may not be ultimately what they want it to be now, you can't wait until March or April to really get it on.
It's almost Christmas time.
It's almost Christmas time, so it's got to be go mode. If the Lakers can stay healthy and they get that rhythm down packed, just remember all the little haters and whatnot that has something to say and Hey,
yeah.
Don't run.
It's almost Christmas time. It's optimism.
Almost Christmas.
Kevin Durant on the phone talking to Kyrie. Like,
let's talk about it. I was waiting for it. Let's talk about it. We can do it now.
He's like, do you think Kyrie Irving is going to return this season? Based on the reports that we're seeing, it's optimism.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. It's just a matter of when. Because again, obviously, got to get the rhythm down packed and the chemistry and all that, of course. But yeah, man, we got to see Kyrie Irving play playoff basketball. And honestly, I don't care about the regular season, what he doesn't. He's stamped and proven enough that like, I get it. Like if he goes out there and averages like 15 or 16 a game, I wouldn't be like, oh shit, is he all right? No, he's gonna be all right. Especially when you got Kevin Durant and James Harden, the pressure won't be the same. But at the same time, the sooner the better. But if he can come back, man, obviously I know Kevin would appreciate it. He wouldn't have to be dropping 50 pieces like this, but.
James Harden was out that game, but yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, of course. And that's a huge factor.
And they missing Joe Harris, but it was fun. That was a fun. I mean, that was nothing to KD. That was nothing to KD. Really.
All right. So you take KD off that court. Who was? Jeez, scary. All right, but no, I just want to mention it gets spooky. But yeah, man, if Kyrie come back, bro, Eastern Conference needs to be on their toes, man.
NBA.
Oh, okay, yes, but
entire NBA.
Yes, the NBA as well.
NBA, West, East, don't matter because if they get that chemistry down pat, let me tell you something. It's over for a lot of teams.
You're gonna see, man. I can't say it's gonna be over for at least 2 teams. And honestly, even three.
Unless you got like a team that got
maybe even 4.
I don't know, bro. Like.
I mean, listen, all the teams that I'm thinking of right now are already proven or at least have one guy that has proven.
True.
So that's all it is. And again, on paper, there's no doubt in my mind that Brooklyn is like that. But
Miami.
Oh, that wasn't even the team I was thinking of, but yeah.
Miami, Lakers, Clippers are Kawhi's
I would say Phoenix and Golden State, to be honest.
Golden State. I'm the Bucks. I gotta.
Yeah, I thought you.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's say the 14, or at least my 14. You may have just ones that are different. Milwaukee, Phoenix, the Lakers. Yeah. Well, and the Nets. I mean, if that's the
Yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting somebody. I know you said Miami.
Go to State and Miami. I think those 6 teams right there are. I think those 6 teams are go. I think the Nets. Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers,
I think Miami could do it, but that's in a situation where like they still have new acquisitions and stuff. So like if I'm gonna give either team the benefit of the doubt, it's gonna be Brooklyn. The only reason why I'm saying those other teams is because they've already proven it with their core. Miami hasn't really done that.
That's true.
And especially with Bam's injury. So
and the Brooklyn Nets haven't really proved anything. They only played like 11 games together with that trio. So it's just
right,
like,
but I mean,
that's
on paper,
of course, on paper. But yeah, that's but why you think Kevin Durant probably right now? It's like, he's looking at the schedule like, we need to get you back like before the second half of the season start, All-Star game, because like we need to develop chemistry because we still, as great as they are, they only played like 10 games last year because James Harden got hurt. Kevin Durant missed a lot of games as well.
Man, I got to go to a Nets game, man. It was
Kyrie, and it was Kyrie. It was Kyrie for a lot of those games as well, and then Kyrie got hurt as well. But it's just like I hope Kyrie comes back. I think he's going to come back. The league is better with Kyrie Irving. He's the most skilled basketball player of all time in my eyes. The greatest ball handler the league has ever seen. The best show in the NBA, in my opinion. 3-level scorer, finish with either hand, ambidextrous. Like it's serious. Like this brother is a true artist on a basketball court. Like he's a magician, man. I mean, the game he makes the game beautiful and fun to watch. So I'm hoping KD hit that call. Like Kyrie, what's up? What's up, man? Like it's almost that time, and I really feel that Kyrie Irving, even if he doesn't get the vax or not, I feel like Kevin Durant, like away games, something like it's time,
But that's the thing too, is like when we talking about like I didn't would he have to get vaccinated, or even if he doesn't, I think the Nets have made it clear, like I don't think it'll be like an on and off thing. Like, all right, he only plays away games or he only plays home games. So
okay,
if he
think it's fully or not, okay, well,
yeah, that's just what I'm thinking and what I'm kind of hoping. Because even I'm just thinking like as a teammate too, as a coaching staff or whatever, it's like that's too inconsistent. Now, obviously, if you can have Kyrie play, hey, play. But like the consistency just won't be there, So
consistency also.
I'm saying like you obviously not about to have Kyrie on your team and say, you know what, because you're not playing means we don't want you here at all. But it's like at the same time, if you're like, what exactly are you trying to build with your team? Like 1 minute you got a guy starting, the next minute someone else is, and especially if it's not even injury based. So
true,
but it's still Kyrie. So
true, yeah. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So another guy I want to talk about too. I was gonna say for the cap or no cap, but I want to address it now. Zion. We both took these eyes.
Oh, that man got generational wealth. Shout out to that man.
Facts, my brother.
Shout out to that man. Gatorade, man. Jordan,
the bag.
Contract, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That is, the bag has been secured.
Zion Williamson. There's a reason why I would saying before the draft, I would take John Morant. I thought John Morant was going to be, I felt like John Morant was the best player, even over Zion Williamson. But another reason why, because I was worried about Zion's weight and his health and those knees. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was worried about that. One, I think he's done for the rest of the season. He has to be done for the rest of the season. Two, it's just kind of like this is on his third lower body injury already. In 3 seasons, he hasn't played, I don't think he's played 100 games in 3 seasons. Like, it's like, I hope he comes back healthy, fully healthy, and he's fine, but he has to get that weight under control. But it doesn't help that he was drafted to a poverty franchise that has the same training facility as their NFL team. Like, that's one of the reasons why Anthony Davis had to get the hell out of. Anthony Davis had a lot of injuries with the New Orleans Pelicans. Like, Drew Holiday, like, it's just like cheap organizations. Like, I swear, bro, I really hope Zion, some people feel like, oh, Zion just doesn't want to play with the Oregon Pelicans. Shit, man, I wouldn't want to play with the Oregon Pelicans. Maybe that's it. But it's just like, maybe he eating that good old New Orleans food, gumbo and all that, all them spices and Cajun chicken and all that. Maybe he just feel like, I'm being good, but I really don't want to be here. So like, maybe he like not as concerned with his weight as he should be if he was playing with a team that could get him the right access and the right dietitian and all these things. I'm not saying that the New Orleans haven't done that, but I don't know. When you got an organization that got the same training for staff as your NFL team. Like, I don't really know. And historically, this has been an issue. Like, I don't know if they switched it up or changed it or whatever, but historically, there's been issues with that training staff where people was like, yo, the training staff in New Orleans is more, they're more NFL based. Like they do NFL stuff. Like, yo, shit don't make no sense, bro. Like,
you know me. It's still too early to say the words free Zion. I always believe in a guy got to be there at least 5 years before I say you need to be freed from a organization. But I mean, because at the same time too, I think he's got to prove. And as we mentioned, like episodes, right? That's what I'm saying. Regardless of what the reason is, right? But whether it be the winning aspect or the health aspect, he's still got to prove it himself. So even though we want to say it's the Pelicans and all that, which I definitely think he can do, right? I don't. It's still early. He's still, he's still young. So, like, what would he be like a senior right now at Duke? So it's like
he's still got time.
You still got time. I know you like to view them as a poverty franchise, but I mean
they are.
That's for you to say. I'm here to.
They are. Theus, I think.
Go ahead.
Theus, I think also with Zion, what kind of concerns me with these lower body like injuries and stuff like that can start like pulling on your Achilles. You start foot injuries and stuff like that. That's why it's very critical for him to like come back and kind of like lose some weight, because you don't want to like get injuries where you may not be able to come back for, especially when your game is like predicated on athleticism first. Like, it's the reason why Kevin Durant, I wasn't worried about Kevin Durant because coming back from Achilles injury, because his game was never predicated on athleticism. Sure, KD is athletic, of course. He's an NBA player, 7 foot. You got to be somewhat athletic to be a 7 foot monster. But it's just kind of like his game is not relied solely on athleticism the same way we say a Zion Williamson. So the more lower body injuries he's suffering, the more worried I get, because like, I don't want him to get something really serious where he can't come back from. And also I'm very worried because he hasn't started his skill journey yet. This is why I need Zion to get in the gym. And this is why we got to shout out Julius Randle, because Julius Randle came into the league, not the athlete Zion Williamson was, but he still worked at the low block and the low post angle and operating the first level of the basketball court. But over the course of his career, he developed his handle, developed his mid-range shot. So I'm hoping that Zion Williamson not only comes back healthy, but he starts that skill journey very soon, because like if he keeps getting hurt and stuff like that, he's going to have to rely on his skill set and not his athleticism. But hopefully he can come back healthy and he can rely on his athleticism and still start his skill journey and rely on both, because like it would be a shame if he never really developed a true, skill set, and then he keeps getting hurt, and then next thing you know, it's just kind of like he's out the league entirely.
Damn, that was a wild timeline. Going from he's out the league entirely, but I mean we've seen it happen to players. I don't think that'll happen with Zion. Hopefully, if he does end up leaving the city of New Orleans. But I mean, hey man, stranger things have happened. But at the same, who knows? Maybe this is the moment, his turnaround moment. Where he, just says, all right. And thing
Joel
is too,
Embiid was the same way, bro.
Yeah.
3 years and stuff like that, 82 games, and then Joel Embiid was able to turn around. That's a big guy too,
exactly,
as well. So
exactly. Sometimes patience really is a virtue. And it's obvious the Pelicans aren't in any rush to win anything, for crying out loud, let alone a championship. So, I mean, there is time on his side. I don't think they're going to be pressuring him to come back any quicker than he has to, which I think is a good thing and overall for his health. But, man, I just don't know what's next, for that franchise. I mean, obviously, you try your best to keep Zion and BI, but if one guy is isn't healthy, you think BI should want out?
He should want out.
I mean, he's got his money, right? So I mean,
Lonzo got out. Like he's in the second year of his extension. This is the second year, I think. But when we get to number 3, and then closer to number 4, you gonna hear it. He gonna want out. Trust me. The reason why Lonzo Ball wanted out. So they had a great core, Theus. Like they ruined their opportunity. Like it's only a matter of time before Brandon Ingram wants out. I guarantee it. The Brandon Ingram should want out now. He should be trying to get to like damn near. He should be trying to get to Philly. Like he should be trying to like work his way to like try to get to Philly. Like, I want to get to Philly, play with Joel Embiid, be the perfect situation, 3-level scorer, athletic, can handle the ball as well. Like shit, he should get to try to get anywhere. But like
anywhere but NOLA.
He should be looking around like what player that that's maybe a free agent next year that may not want to re-sign to a team, or there may be like some friction with. Look at the Celtics. Rumors have like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Like,
there you go.
Yeah. Like, what you think about Sky with that situation? Like, Jaylen Brown should went out.
But there's no real reason for either those guys, Jalen and Jason, to want out.
Not yet,
Like,
no.
right,
Jalen
not
should
yet.
went out.
I mean, you think Jalen should? Why?
I think Jalen should went out because I just feel like, well, I feel like the end is in sight in Boston because, like, as we talked about this several podcasts ago, it's just like they're as great as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are as a wing tandem. Potentially they could be like Paul George and Kawhi, but it's like we've hardly ever see it really work. You know what I'm saying? It's just like LeBron and D Wade, it worked. Pippen and Jordan, it worked, but it worked because Pippen was much more of a point like forward and they can defender stuff like that. That's why at first I was kind of like, when I heard like people pitching this idea, I was like, Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons. And I was just like, well, the Philadelphia Sixers should definitely do that. And I was kind of like, I don't know if the Boston Celtics should do that for Ben. But now, as I'm starting to look at it, it kind of makes sense. Because like you got Jason Tatum, 3-level scorer, can also guard on the perimeter, 1 through 4, can shoot it very smooth. You get Ben Simmons, point forward, can rebound, that can defend as well, can get Jason Tatum easy shots. It may probably be a better duo of Ben Simmons and Jason Tatum than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. At first, I wasn't really rocking with it, but now it's kind of like,
but now it goes back to the original problem. Is that I mean, you mentioned this more than anyone. It's like Ben needs to be surrounded by like shooters.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
and Jason Tatum, he's a shooter, yes, but he's not a catching, or he's more than just a catch and shoot guy.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, if you're talking about ISO and you just give the ball to Jason, get out the way, well, that's taking away from Ben's strength. You know, like his biggest strength isn't, you know, slashing to the basket or being an offensive rebounder or a catch and shoot or even an off-ball guy. So if you got two guys that need the ball to score or do, you know, what they do, it's like, well, are we back at square one?
But I think Jason Tatum's problem is that, you know, I love Jason Tatum, but like, it's too much. And even Jaylen Brown, it's like they don't have a guy that can really set them up. That's
yeah.
So having Ben Simmons is going to probably be able to get Jason Tatum easy looks. And then if you start building a team around like with shooters and stuff like that, it's kind of like it can work in a way. You get what I'm saying? Like, because Jason Tatum's not going to always have to go out and have to get him a isolation between the legs, step back 3. You know, he's not going to always have to do that.
But I think there's a difference between guys like Ben Simmons and like guys like Ricky Rubio, if you will, right? Like they're obviously both point guards and they facilitate. But to me, Rubio and even like Rubio and like guys like Rondo are guys that will literally get them in the right spot and put the ball where it needs to be put. While Ben is more of like all right, I'm going to, you know, attract the defense and kick it out to you. And I'm not saying that Ben can't do that for Jason Tatum, but I think it's more likely for it to be like Ben has the ball in his hands going to work and then, you know, he attracts the defense. I don't think it'll be that way if the Celtics have like more of a true traditional guard like Lonzo. You know what I mean? Like a guy who can literally, yo, I got you. Here you go. Let me get out the way and let you operate. I don't see that with, you know, Ben.
I think, at the same time, I don't see that either. But at the same time, it's just like Ben Simmons, like Jason Tatum is a shot creator. Like he can score anywhere. So it's just kind of like we saw with LeBron James. Like LeBron James had J.R. Smith, had Kevin Love, and he had, you know, another guard that can shoot the 3. And then you had Kyrie Irving. So if I'm looking at the Boston Celtics, if you could kind of formulate what the Celtics did with LeBron, with Ben and Jason Tatum, with Jason Tatum being this, you know, shot creator, can play off ball, can have the ball in his hands, can do anything. It's just like you may be awesome, but you got to get the right personnel, like what you're saying. Like you have to get the right personnel is key. I think you have to figure it out, but it's just like you may want to take that risk because like what we're seeing with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum is just kind of like they both the same. You know what I'm saying? They both elite shot creators. Both got to have the ball in their hands. Both isolation. Your turn, my turn. It's not going to necessarily work. So why not, if Ben is available, why not take that chance?
Because you don't have to. And the only reason I say that is because I still obviously think, you know, Ben Simmons is talented. He's a great player and all this and that. But in terms of the value of the trade talk, like it definitely sucks when a guy has made it clear that he wants to be traded. or it's obvious now that trade talks are happening. So it's like, well, if you don't have to give up Jaylen Brown, then why would you? And obviously, like,
Sure. Sure.
If that isn't on the table, then it is what it is. But like, it's not like I feel like the Celtics are so thirsty to get Ben Simmons. Like, we all know that either a trade is on the way or a trade should happen sooner rather than later. So it's like, if you don't have to trade up guys, or if you can give up less to get more, this is all a numbers game at the end of the day, you know. So, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean,
interesting.
Neither of those teams being the Lakers if we keep it stacked, but.
Yeah, and Boston's struggling right now, but like they don't have no identity, bro. Like it's so obvious. Like coming into the season, I was just like, "Yo, what are we doing?" Like Marcus Smart, you got Jaylen Brown, you got Jason Tatum. It's just like, what's the offense? The offense been the same. Like, and then you get rid of Kemba Walker. All right, you had too many cooks in the kitchen. You know, Kemba was dropping shot creator and stuff like that. You got Jaylen Brown, shot creator, 3-level scorer. You got Jason Tatum, 3-level scorer, shot creator. So it's like it didn't work. All right, cool. But it's just like you didn't really. You got Marcus Smart, a 3-and-D guy basically, and it's just kind of like. What is the strategy? Like, you missed out on Nikola Vucevic with the Bulls. He's with the Bulls now. Like, you missed out on Lonzo Ball. He's with the Bulls now. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I think that's the big question with the Boston Celtics. What the hell are we doing here?
What is our identity?
Like, what is our identity? Like, what are we doing here? Are we? And that's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't like the whole like Brad Stevens went from doing a shitty job coaching his last couple years with the Boston Celtics. Amazing coach, but it's just kind of like it was a lot of those playoff series like where I was very questionable. Like, yo, what am I watching, Brad Stevens? And then he gets promoted and goes up into the front office where Danny Ainge was dropping the ball, just acquiring draft picks, and never using them, never really doing anything. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, like I don't know who they go after. Like who's, I don't know. It's
got to be a young guard that can, put those guys in the best position to score. But I don't know who it would be. And I don't see them blowing it up, though. I mean, I think both of those guys are too viable for you to just wake up one morning and just say, all right, let's trade him.
I already say Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons is believe Ben Simmons can be very, very special in this year. And I feel like if you had to, take a chance, why not take a chance in requiring a player that's a 2-time All-Star and arguably the best defender in the NBA that still has loads of potential that can improve, instead of like waiting until like Jaylen Brown gets fed up and be like, yo, I want out, and then now you're like looking around like, yo, who can we get? Who can we get? And you looking around like shit, and it's not a lot. And then you, so I don't know about that. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's definitely some things happening around with that entire division, really. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Cap or no cap? Right now, Nikola Jokic is a top 5 player in the NBA.
Whew. Top 5 offensive talent for sure. Top 5 player. Well, this probably gonna be the slam post tomorrow.
I'm about to say, don't answer too quick. Don't answer too quick. Don't play Jokic. I'm not here to say whether it's true or false, but don't say it like it's a hell no.
This is definitely going to be the slam post for tomorrow. Is Jokic a top 5 player in the NBA? We got LeBron James. This is no order. Giannis, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry.
We got one spot left. Who's on the boat? Who is on the damn boat? who is getting left on the island?
Kawhi's out. My only thing is, bro,
don't make it more difficult than it has to be. Don't. You're gonna stress yourself out trying to think of another name.
It's not a thinking of another name because I had to think about like, do I think Nikola Jokic is a better center than Joel Embiid? That's what I'm struggling with. So that's what I'm struggling right now because I think Jokic offensively is one of the top 5 offensive talent, maybe top 3 offensive talent in the world right now. What he does on the offensive side of the basketball is insane, but it's just like, I can't ignore the defensive side of the ball when we talk about big man. Wings to bigs, like 3 to 5. I can't ignore it when it's the 1s and 2s, really. but when it's the 3s and 5s and you 6'7", 6'8", and up, I can't really ignore it. And I know Joel Embiid is a monster on both sides of the basketball court. But I'm gonna say no cap. I'm gonna say no cap.
And remember, I said right now. I mean, the numbers and just no Jamal. You look at the injuries that Nuggets done had. I mean, no Jamal, no Michael Porter Jr. and
no cap.
I'm just saying.
Let's get spicy though, because I posted something. I posted something talking about Nikola Jokic on my IG page. And Rashad Phillips commented and said that Nikola Jokic doesn't get the credit that he deserves because he's what they want Luka to be. Humble, a winner, and he said something else. But I was like, yo.
Man was like,
I was like, yo, that he may be on to something because, like, when we talk about Nikola Jokic, it's like, wow, he's having a better season than his MVP season. And he's got guys that's on there. Talk
about it.
He got guys on there that, shit, I maybe can compete for a day over 13 spot. And I ain't played competitive basketball in years. You know, he got guys on there you don't even know their damn names, and he's still out there hooping and balling. Like it's he beat David Lillard. He beat them boys.
It's gotta stop, man. I don't understand.
He beat them boys by himself with some damn backups, bro. Like guys that would be backups. Like, you know how sometimes you just a starter on some teams, but they backups on bad teams.
Backups on backups.
They're backups on bad teams. And Nikola is won a playoff series. Like he's a bad man. He's bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I know he's not, in terms of, I won't say he's not the most flashiest type of player, but
he's flashy.
I know he might, right. I know he might not dunk on anybody. I know he might not, break the record for threes. I know he may not go for like a 50-60 performance, whatever, but hey, man. Hey, man, when you look at that team that, even with the injuries, that brother has been hooping.
Yeah.
Reigning MVP. I mean, hey, guys. Yeah. Hey. So I had to ask. Yeah.
And that's why when people talk about Joel Embiid and when they say things like, you can talk a defense, Ahmad, but Jokic is more of a dog. They be talking about he's more of a winner. Like, circumstances don't matter with Nikola Jokic. That's what they be saying. I'll be like, shit, I can't really.
That might be a bigger insult. To be honest with you, you think a guy better than me? All right, damn. All right, fine, whatever. I'm gonna be a little mad. But you say he got more dog in me? Oh, that's you might as well just slap me in the face. That's just the ultimate side. Like damn, that's how we feel. But hey, I will say this though, to Joel's credit as well, not having Ben Simmons. It's. I won't say it's the exact same thing, but
he don't got Jamal. He ain't got Michael Porter Jr. He ain't got his.
Hey,
bro.
It's getting spooky and different.
Bro, it's crazy. Like it's crazy. If they can get healthy, talk about a team that's a piece away. And I think we're gonna say that for a next podcast.
Yeah, you throw a healthy Jamal, a healthy
we're gonna talk about
Michael
with
Jokic,
away from a championship.
Man. And I feel like, they haven't had like OD success, I feel like, when it comes to free agents, but I feel like,
Denver
might not want to deal with it. Yeah.
Denver not a bad. It ain't Utah.
Yeah. See, I didn't want to say a specific area, but it ain't the worst location in the league. I tell you that much.
It ain't Utah. It ain't Indiana.
Like Utah.
It ain't Sacramento. I know Sacramento, California. So like, it was Sacramento, bored as hell. Like it ain't shit. Like let's be real.
I don't want to throw out no cities, but let's just say Denver ain't 30.
I'll talk. It ain't New Orleans. New Orleans is a nice city, but like
New Orleans is a nice city. See, now you're talking about franchises. Now you're talking about franchise.
I'm more talking about franchise. But we can talk about cities. It ain't Indiana. It ain't. But shit, I'll go to Sacramento. Like it's California.
Yeah, but I say it's still Cali.
But it ain't Indiana. It ain't Utah.
Utah. Yeah.
What else?
Salt Lake.
What else is some trash cities?
I want to say
it ain't. Boston.
What? Oh yeah. Well,
I ain't going.
I wouldn't be.
I want to go to Boston. Boston's okay. I've never been to Boston, but they say it's okay. But it's some reason why I ain't.
Yeah, but I'm good.
I ain't going to Boston.
I'm good. I'm praying for my brother Jalen and Jason out there, man. I wish them nothing but peace and serenity, man. Yeah.
I'm hoping Jaylen Brown wants out because 2 years later they're gonna lose Jason Taylor in free agency anyway. So they gonna lose both. They gonna go from having like all this talent, acquired all these great draft picks and success with Jason Taylor, Jalen Brown, not having nothing in a few years. So
that agenda is very strong, bro. That Jason and purple and gold agenda gets stronger and stronger by the day. Keep losing Boston.
I need Jalen Brown in his hometown. Like, we had Josh Smith come on and talk about like Anthony Edwards. He talked about some cats that's the basketball scene in Atlanta and Georgia. I need Jalen Brown with the Hawks.
That's tough.
Pair Trae Young and Jalen Brown together, it's a championship, bro. If you're the Atlanta Hawks and it's some like quirks with the situation with the Boston Celtics and Jalen Brown, and they're listed and they're not really kind of like actively shopping Jalen Brown. But if you're the Atlanta Hawks, you got some pieces that you can get Jalen Brown.
That's true, but you got some pieces they're gonna have to give up your man's Cam Reddish.
That's fine. You do what you got to do. I know I love Cam Reddish, but you got a chance to get Jalen. You got a chance to get Jalen Brown. You give Cam Reddish, give Kevin Herter, and couple first round picks if that's what they want.
They're gonna have to keep, or they're gonna try and keep John. So
if that's
I
what
want
they
them to keep John though. Yeah, I want them. You would give up John?
No, they gonna keep John. But I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say, come on now.
No, they gonna keep John. But I'm saying you do that. You do that. You got Bogey. You got Trae Young. You got Jalen Brown. You got Clint Capella, John Collins. Like, it's serious. It gets scary.
Someone got to go though. No. Boston ain't no idiots.
Yeah, like I said, Kevin Herter, Cam Reddish, couple first round draft picks.
That doesn't get it done. That doesn't get it done.
They got the center. They got the center from USC as well.
Like, that doesn't get it done. That doesn't get it done. We're talking about Jalen Brown here. That doesn't get it done. Would you do that if you're Boston? All right,
bro, that's not a bad.
Okay, cool. It's not a bad deal. Would you do it if you were Boston?
Depend on the situation. Because I think
Cam Reddish on the situation. You literally just listed out the whole trade. That is the situation. So would you do that trade?
I don't think you always gonna lose the trade. You're not gonna get a suit. It's a reason why I said if the Boston Celtics are interested in like shopping Jalen Brown, they should try to go get Ben Simmons, because that's the only time where you can really get like an all-star for another all-star.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, fine. I'll answer for you. Hell no. I'll answer for you. That's what should have been your answer. Hell no. 2 words. You could even said hell to the no. But no. I'm not trading Jalen Brown for no. What are we doing here? What are we like? It's still come on. Like, true. And like I said, I also love Cam Reddish too, but Jalen is like that. So yeah. No. But yeah, y'all. We out. All right. Peace.
It's your boy, Ahmad K. Smith, also known as AK. Make sure you guys go follow No Pump Fakes wherever you get your podcasts.